Hello, Year 12. My weekly video just to talk you through a little bit the work I'd like you to do this week. So carrying on really from what you were doing last time, what I want you to do is sort of to continue to look at those different ways of displaying and also helping you analyse data and information. So this is a mixture this time of the maps you sort of started to look at before, but also some different graphs, some graphical techniques to display that data. So you're going to need your textbook, and its pages 624 through to 633. First thing I'd like you to do is go through those pages. Some of them I think you already looked at last week, so that could just be a bit of a reminder. But then the later ones, have a look through, look at each technique, make some brief notes about each one. In particular, make sure you read the text that accompanies the different techniques, because that talks you through some of the different advantages and disadvantages of each technique. Obviously, no technique is perfect, and they're not good for every situation. If there was one that was perfect and good for every situation, we'd only have one, wouldn't we? You always do the same thing, and clearly that's not the case. So it's important you sort of understand that and understand the limitations. Just as one example, pie charts, really good technique, really clear. You'll see that's one of the ones mentioned in the book. Sure, you've all used them before for lots of different things. The thing with pie charts, though, they're only any good if you're showing proportions of something. So like what of a total, what proportion is this, what proportion is that, what proportion is the other. If you use them for other types of data, then they just don't work, they don't mean anything. So it's really important we understand the advantages of each one, what types of things they can be used for, but also the limitations. And that will mean when you come to do an investigation of your own, you can use them appropriately. So first job, look through, make some notes and things, make sure you're happy. Then what I've done is I've created a quiz on Edmodo for you to complete, which obviously will be linked to this post. I'm going to try and set that without a time limit. However, I think pretty much you get one go at it, so only do it when you're ready to sit down and do it. There are 10 questions. I don't think it will take an enormous amount of time, but you might need a little while. Essentially what I've done is I've gone through those pages I've asked you to look at, and so like, I might have a question about a certain graph and I might ask you to describe what it shows, things like that. I've also put some multiple choice questions in there, pick the right statements about the graph, so just to mix it up a little bit, so it's not always you just writing paragraphs and paragraphs about different things. So make sure you've had a look through and you're happy with it first. The other thing, of course, you're going to need your textbook in front of you to do that, because the questions are going to say, look at the graph on page whatever and answer this question. Okay, so that's the work. That's for this week. I decided that doing one video a week is probably enough for everybody to see me, and rather than multiple days. So that's what I want you to look at this week. So maps and graphs, make your own notes, make sure you're happy with them, advantages, disadvantages, and then when you've done that, pretty much sort of the last thing, the thing to hand in, is have a go at my little quiz that I've put on Edmodo for you. Okay, so that's the work for this week, and I'll speak to you all again next week.